Hey everyone, Jonas Allen from Cold Outdoorsman. You know, it's summertime, we're going out hiking, we're going out camping, we're taking road trips, we're socializing with friends. And it's important to stay hydrated in the summer months. One of the most fun ways to stay hydrated is to have some beer. Nice cold beer. Of course, the only way to keep it cold is either get it right from the source, be it home from your fridge, or take it in an insulated container. So I'm taking a look here at 3 growlers this summer. One from HydroFlask, one from Stanley, and one from DrinkTanks. Now, 2 of the 3 are the normal 64-ounce variety, like this HydroFlask one. Growlers traditionally come in 32 or 64 ounces. 64 ounces is what you normally see. HydroFlask has a 64-inch insulated growler. Looks like a version of their normal insulated containers on steroids, right? Pretty big. It has all the wonderful creature comforts that a HydroFlask container normally does. It's got a screw top. There is another one as well. It has double wall vacuum insulation, sweat-free outside. Really great. Has performed pretty well. You'll have to go to the website coldoutdoorsman.com to see the full recap of its specs. But this is a great container for folks who are HydroFlask believers and who want to keep their beer cold for quite some time. We also have a growler here from Stanley. It looks a little bit smaller than the HydroFlask, but it's not. It's a little bit taller. Stanley's pretty well known in the camping circles. They've been around for quite some time, since 1913 in fact. Now the difference here, two differences that are really important for this growler. One, it has a handle. I don't know if you can tell on the HydroFlask version, other than this, which is kind of like a loop that really isn't very practical for anything other than keeping the lid on. When this is full of beer, 64 ounces, that's not heavy, but you don't want to drop it while you're pouring. So it's almost a two-person pour job with this growler. One person to use both hands to pour, another person to hold the pint steady. With the Stanley, you've got this handle. Nice tight grip. You can move this however you want. That handle's a really nice feature, both for carrying it in general, but practically for pouring. Another nice feature is the lid. It's not a screw top. That's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But what's nice about it is there's a decided pop when you open this growler. You can't hear it there. There's no carbonation in here. I've got them empty for demo purposes. But it clamps down. Take that off. Nice metal lining here so your beer's never touching any plastic. Inside, stainless steel, 18/8, just like you'd normally see from many of the other growlers. With the handle, you can pour, you can do sideways, you can pour that way, however you want. But that's a really nice feature. And then when you're done with it, clamp it up, and it's ready to roll. This performed well also. In fact, it was of the 3, it was one of the better ones in terms of keeping things cold. I found that this one tended to perform a little bit better, the Stanley growler, when it came to carbonation, because you clamp on, clamp off, you don't lose quite as much time screwing it. So the Stanley and the HydroFlask, these are the 64-ounce growler I've been taking a look at. The 3rd growler from DrinkTanks, I'm sorry, these are nice sized growlers. The Juggernaut from DrinkTanks is both aptly named and kind of a man among boys. Got the handle. Okay, you know Crocodile Dundee, that ain't a knife, this is a knife? Well, that ain't a handle. This is a handle. You get like 4 small woodland creatures in here. Anyway, point is, this is 128 ounces, right? It's twice the size of a standard growler. Holds a lot of beer. The handle there, if you need to hold both hands, you can very comfortably. You could even fit a 3rd. It's good for carrying. Believe me, when this is full of beer, you need it. And great at insulation. You know, it's fully insulated, 128 ounces, stainless steel. Really has a powerful clamp. Instead, I would say one of the things that is a detractor a little bit from the Juggernaut here from DrinkTanks is that the clamp can be really hard to get on and off. There we go. That's a tough side. Anyway, once those clamps are off, a metal lined lid, all the way inside, stainless steel, very insulated, does a good job keeping things nice and cold. Here's the secret sauce for the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut in and of itself is a good growler, but DrinkTanks made an accessory for it. And what else would you expect from something this massive, right? called the Keg Cap. Okay. Now the Keg Cap is brilliant. They're all relatively comparable when it comes to keeping things cool. What the Keg Cap does is really extend the life of the beer from a carbonation standpoint. So you dip that hose in there till it gets to the bottom of the growler. I'm going to have a little slack here, but that's okay. And you clamp this on. Alright, you got that. Well, how are you going to get the beer out? DrinkTanks has, the Keg Cap comes with CO2 cartridges and a little adapter. You screw that in, give it a little press down here, fills the chamber, fills this with CO2, and you get a nice smooth pour. The pressure just pushes the beer out. Now, that's nice for novelty, yes. It's also really good because you're not opening and closing the lid every time you want beer. Therefore, you're not letting out any carbonation. So this was good at insulation, but I think just as important, it was the best of the three at keeping the beer nice and frothy. For the full review, head on over to coldoutdoorsman.com.